Hey there, my Equalizer fans. It's your girl, Barbie J here. And we are talking about another great episode, which was season 3, episode 11. Never again, honey. Never again. And of course, like I said, it was another great episode. And I apologize for putting this up late. But I think I told y'all, if y'all didn't hear it on this video, that I am going through a mess in my house. I have had no water for the last 11 days. It is a madness, no heat either. And I am going to war with these people. But I will talk about that in another video. I need to just do a video on that. But anyway, let's talk about this Equalizer, y'all. I tell you, have we even ever seen a bad Equalizer episode? I don't know. But this one was good, and especially Aunt Vi. I have props for Delilah and what she was trying to do, but that Aunt Vi, she wicked. She is not to be messed with or played with or anything. I love how she came at what's his name. That's all I can call him, what's his name right now. But anyway, so this episode is about a Jewish community in Midwood that's being targeted by a hate group. So this young woman named Rebecca reaches out to Robin for help after a friend of hers named Cheryl was knocked unconscious by some vandals wearing ski masks and spray painting hate messages on the wall of their deli. So she's like, we need help to help, stop this hate crime going on. I guess the police weren't helping them or something. But before we get into that, we have Robin talking to Aunt Vi about meeting with Miles. Then Delilah walks in and they stop talking, but notice something is wrong when Dee is asked, what's up? She says that her parents are fighting, over her for custody. So Robin assures her that it won't go as far as court and that she and Miles will work it out. Dee leaves and Vi tells Robin to stop making promises she may not be able to keep. And Robin shows her a folder that says W Bishop Security. And Vi is like, you going to use this? And Robin says Miles leaves her no choice and that she would do what she must to protect her family. Now that W Bishop Security, I'm thinking that was her friend Bishop, who basically did some kind of background research on Miles before he died, because I believe Bishop is the one who died, her friend, right? Who died. So he might have did some surveillance or background on him. And Robin had that folder just in case. Smart woman. She had that folder with that information. Anyway, so Robin meets with the young Jewish woman named Rebecca, and she tells her that the entire Jewish community is on edge because of various hate crimes that have been going on. Robin meets with Harry and Mel and shares what she has learned, and that's when we find out that Harry used to live in this community when he was a young boy, and that he had moved with his father to Long Island when their parents got divorced. So then Robin wants to get busy working on the case, but Harry and Mel tell her to take care of herself and her family first and to, meet with Miles and whatever I have to, hash out about Delilah. So they said they would deal with the case. So they make plans and they split up and they all do certain things. Even Robin contacts Dante for something as well. So they're all aware that this case is going to hit close to home for Harry because he's Jewish and lived in that area. So Harry goes to the spot where the deli was vandalized and Dante stops by to assist him in whatever way he needs, stating that the hate is everyone's problem. And he mentioned how he found out over there in Gatling County about how it was still around in their generation. You remember when, what happened to Detective Dante with those other police officers out there. And he ended up suing their behinds too. Anyway, so he was saying how it's still like that even amongst the law enforcement personnel, Then Rebecca brings Rabbi Alton by to meet Harry, and he knows Harry's mother and speaks highly of her. But it seems like that Harry, brushes it off. So there must be some backstory there. I'm sitting there going, what's going on here? Because Harry seemed to be brushing off every time this man mentions his mother. So then Mel goes to see Cheryl McKenna, and she hears some arguing with someone in the apartment. So she knocks on the door and calls out Cheryl's name, and a young man opens the door with a gun pointed at her. So of course Mel unarms him very quickly and learns that he is Cheryl's son. His name is West. And they're arguing because he wants her to move from the community because she was sent a message which was written in cut out letters from a comic book or something, they said. And the letter said, "Beware you, Jew lovers die too." And I was like, wow. So she's not Jewish. She was about to convert over, but they're saying just because you're not a Jew don't mean you won't get hurt because you're a lover of Jews. But she wants to stay. She doesn't want to move. Her son wants her to move, but she wants to stay in the community because they took her and her son in after her husband died. So Mel took the letter to Dante to check for prints and gave Harry a copy to see if he can make something from it. So what he found out leads him to a comic book store. They speak with the owner and bribe him with a few $100s to provide them with a list of names and emails of those who came into the store. And after he was talking about protecting his customers and their privacy, he didn't mind giving up their information for a few $100s. That's so funny. Meanwhile, Robin and Miles are hashing it out in their home about Delilah and what's been going on. Then Delilah came home early and heard part of their discussion, and she told them how her friend was forced, her friend's parents were getting divorced, and how her friend was forced to choose which parent she wanted to live with. And Robin is saying, "Oh, that's great." And she's like, Delilah's like, "I don't want to do that because I love both of you." So Miles said, "Well, you don't have to do it." Basically, he's saying the judge will decide. But she gets upset and runs upstairs to her room, and Robin follows behind her, then details Robin that what she does is too important to allow her father to expose her. She says, "Dad is right, though. She would probably, be safer living with him." And Robin is like, "Is that what you wanted all the time?" But she said, "No, it's not." She said, "This is my way of protecting you." And all Robin could do is hug her tight, because she knows what Robin is doing is real important. Then Robin goes back downstairs and pleads with Miles to not do this. But he starts fussing again and he walks out. Then we see the rabbi walking home and sees a note on his car that said, "You better run, Jew." Then 4 masked guys beat him up while a 5th one videotapes the beating, which they upload onto some kind of website or something for people to watch. I was like, what is wrong with these sick people who do stuff like this? You know what I mean? It really makes no sense. So then Mel and Harry, they are in the Bat Cave. I call it the Bat Cave. When Robin calls for an update, Mel asks how things are going on her end, and she lets them know that she'll, fill them in. Robin lets them know she'll fill them in when she knows more. Then Harry gets a call from Rebecca about the rabbi, and he runs to the hospital to see him and get info about what happened. The rabbi is making jokes, and he also does some more praising of Harry's mother. And once again, Harry brushes him off. Harry lets Rabbi know that, when they find out who did this to him, they're going to pay. You better believe they're going to pay. So then it switches to Aunt Vi. She comes home and Robin is cooking, and she asks what happened with Miles, and she asks, is everything okay? Because Robin never cooks. Robin said that she never had time to cook before. And she tells Vi that everything is good. And Vi asks Robin, did she use the file? And Robin told her no. Then she lets Vi know that she put both Dee and Miles in impossible positions and that she will not be equalizing anymore. And Vi is like, no, you can't stop. And Miles is wrong for trying to get you stopped. And then Robin, shared that what Dee had said to her. And she said that this is what she has to do to keep Dee, and that she's going to tell Miles tomorrow. But she doesn't know how to tell Mel and Harry. Aunt Vi is pissed. She's steaming pissed. And you can see it all over her face. So then we see Mel and Harry, tracking someone's cell phone. And somehow it leads them to some sort of club, like almost a rock club. And Mel calls the phone number. And as soon as she calls the phone number, all this loud music coming, da 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 da, and they're looking around to see who's going to answer it. Then they see somebody and they chase after the person. And when they catch him, they find out that it's Wes, Cheryl's son. And it seems that he's a part of this hate crew. I was like, but he's Jewish. It makes no sense. So they said, well, I guess this is the new face of hate, So then Dante has him in the interrogation room talking to him and asking why he would target his own mother. And he was saying my mother wasn't supposed to be there at the deli that night, and I wanted her to move. I didn't want her to be around. Well, Mel and Harry, they were watching, from that, that mirror behind the wall. And then Dante leaves out of the room. He tells the young man he's going to put him in the cell since he don't want to talk. Maybe he'll start talking a couple of days behind bars and stuff. So Wes, he's walking down the hall and he sees Harry and he makes a little statement towards Harry saying, "You gonna be sorry." Harry said, "What did you say?" He said, "You gonna be sorry." Harry gets upset and lunges at him, and Dante gets Harry off of him and yells at Harry, letting him know he could face assault charges for doing that and that he could get suspended. That Dante could get suspended for allowing civilians in a restricted area. And Harry's like, "Well, what would you do?" And Dante said, "What do you think? Now go home." And I was like, wow, he could have gotten him in trouble trying to be tough guy. Anyway, then we have Aunt Vi going to meet with Miles. And Miles is like, "Oh, what was the urgency? Why did you need to see me? Is Delilah okay?" And I said, uh-oh, Aunt Vi about to put Miles in checkmate. You just watch. So anyway, she says she wants to talk to him about him and Robin, and he goes, "With all due respect, he said, I'll say what I have to say to the judge on Monday." So Aunt Vi shows him the folder, that file folder with the W. Bishop security, and he wants to know why she's showing it to him, and she wants him to know what type of person Robert is and how she could have told the whole world that while working overseas, you saved the life of a known terrorist who went on to kill hundreds of people. And Miles said that he took an oath and he doesn't get to pick and choose who he treats. Vi lets him know that the public perception is everything and how Robin could have used it to make sure that he never got custody of Delilah. But she won't bring the father of her child in that way. And I said, "Ooh, tell him, Aunt Vi." And he still keeps saying that she is putting our daughter in danger by doing whatever she is doing. Vi says she's out there trying to save lives, not much different than what you're doing yourself. And Vi adds that Robin saved so many lives because she was there to get rid of that dirty bomb, because he keeps bringing up the dirty bomb. Then Vi went on to say she is giving all of that up now because you are accusing her of being a bad mother. And she said the world can't afford to lose her, and neither can Dee. So maybe Robin won't come for you, but I sure as hell will. I said, "Hey, Aunt Vi, hey girl," she let him have it. And while she is out there saving the world, who's making sure my daughter is safe? This is, that's Miles. And Vi said, "Me. That's who." Then let him know that Delilah is not just his child. She's her child too. And she will continue doing, what she's always done. She lets him know that Dee is blossoming into this powerful young woman, and she will not let Miles take that away from her. And then she left. I said, "Oh, she left him to think about it," because she said, "Robin might not come for you, homie, but Aunt Vi will. Check it." I said, "Go ahead." Then Robin and Mel, they meet up at the bar to chat, and Harry notices a clue or code in that hate message, and he calls Mel, and Robin goes downstairs too, and they realize that the comic book store owner is part of the hate group. He is a card-carrying Nazi, as Robin puts it. Then Harry learns that something bad is about to happen in 15 minutes, and it's a Saturday morning. So they realize that it's at a temple. That's the only way. It's probably the temple in Midwood. So Robin and Mel rush over there, and so does Harry, and they keep trying to reach Rebecca. Now, they in different spots now because, remember, Robin and Mel went to the comic book store and they broke in and found out stuff about him. So they were in one car and Harry was in another car trying to reach there. So Rebecca told her phone is on. They were calling Rebecca, but her phone was on silent. So Harry does something very geeky, which was a great idea. He realized that the rabbi's hearing aids were working via Bluetooth. So Harry sent a message to the rabbi through his hearing aid. I said, "Oh my God, that was so ingenious. That was such a genius idea." So that when the group of Jew haters showed up to the temple, everyone was who was there to pray and stuff and for church, they had already went and hid in the rabbi's office. Then Robin and Mel got there and whipped their behinds. Those hate group guys, they beat the crap out of them. And Harry got the one who tried to get away. He got him out on the street. Then the rabbi tells Harry, after they all come out and everything's cool, he tells Harry that he thought it was God talking to him. He said, "I'm so glad it was you." He said, "I thought it was God." And but then the rabbi tells Harry that he's proud of him and that his mother would be proud of him too. And that's when Harry, shared with the rabbi that he's glad he has such fond memories of his mother, but he can't say the same about a woman who abandoned him. And that's when the rabbi shared, "Oh, you don't know." And Harry's like, "No, what?" And he said that his mother suffered with horrible bouts of depression and felt that she couldn't help him. So she set him free so that he could thrive. And she made his father swear to never tell him because she was ashamed of her mental health issues, because there was a mental illness that she had back then that wasn't really talked about, and it's honestly sometimes it's not even talked about now. And the rabbi said that Harry's father didn't know how to help her, and so he helped Harry instead. And he told him that your father loved her so much that he would do anything for her. And then he told Harry that he was born out of love. So anyway, Harry, Mel, Dante, and Robin are outside chatting after everything's over when Robin gets a text message from Miles saying that he's dropping the custody petition. And Robin is like happy, and she said that she got good news, but she didn't tell him what it was. So when Robin gets home, she tells Aunt Vi that Miles is dropping his petition for custody, and Robin wonders what made him change his mind. And then Vi said, "Oh, he probably realized trying to raise a teenager might be crazy or something like that." But then Rob noticed that the folder she had in her backpack is now flipped around the other way, meaning that someone was messing with it or took it out or something. So Robin starts smiling, and Vi asks, "So what does this mean for you now?" And Robin says, "I can continue to help people." She says she just needs to find a better balance between work and family. So then Robin also told Aunt Vi that everything that I've done up until now, I could not have done without you. And Vi says, "I know." And they start laughing and they hug. So then Robin goes upstairs to tell Dee the good news that they worked it out, and Dee gets to stay where she is. Dee is happy that she gets to continue to help others, that her mom gets to continue to help others. Then Robin says she wants to spend time training together with Dee, and not just fighting, but also how to read people and read situations and use your environment to your advantage, so that one day the only weapon she will need is herself. And Dee is so happy about that, to be spending time with her mother and doing that, and they hug. And then it ends with Harry talking to Mel about how he could have saved a ton of money from going to therapy had he known this information about his mom sooner. He kept thinking his mother abandoned him, and it was just a mental illness she had. So he spent so many years being mad at his mom, he said, and he never got a chance to honor her. So he lit a candle and recited some Jewish words in her honor. So that's the way it ended. It was another wonderful episode. It was very nice. And y'all let me know down in the comment section what y'all thought about it. And I will see you guys in the next video. Please do not forget to subscribe to my channel, like, comment, and share. Subscribe, hit the notification bell, and then thumbs up is the like button. And then you write a comment down below. This your girl Barbie J, saying peace.